There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, you gumpers.
Hola, bom dia, alegria, Manson here with the Expats Portugal show. How are you today? Tudo bem? Como estás? Como vai? Do let me know in the chat. T-Duck is in. It's looking like it's Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu week. And nobody likes a painful ending in the morning, as we're going to find out in just a minute. Turn myself up. Mrs. M, it's a Wednesday. Mrs. M's been in the studio. Like I said before, it's like going in, sitting on a warm toilet seat, being here in the studio after Mrs. M's done an early session, talking to friend Rick in Bali. Moaz, I know you like those conversations. So T-Duck is in with some great work already this morning. Deagle as well. God Squad, tip of the day from Ian Turner to look forward to. Talking about loosening up today. Techno Slug with a boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and doot. It's like that, yo. And Suze is in as well. Moaz, you're in early. Talking about doing some stretching whilst listening. Cheeky rascal. And Andy, the Porky Feet, and Owen, of course. Owen joining me around 9. We were going to... No, Pete, that's not what we call ourselves. Owen in at 9, and I think a bit of a, not unlike myself, actually, a bit of a fitful night. What is it with us and tossing and turning yesterday and last night, Owen? Must be something in the air. In fact, it's very humid. I don't know if it's me personally or if it's actually the weather, but my goodness, feeling a little bit moist this morning. Lee McGrady as well with a good morning, people. And Buddy, nice one, Buddy. Good to see you here. When are you coming back? Okay, we'll dive into your comments in greater detail in a little while. Got some lovely things to share with you, including a gin garden, the 1855 gin garden. For those of you who live in Lisbon or are within easy reach of Lisbon, you might like to try this new experience, courtesy of Martin Jarl. And yes, Owen at 9, talking about Caldo Verde. I think we were going to go for a full-scale cookery demonstration of the Caldo Verde, but he's not feeling brilliant, but he's still going to be here at 9 to have a chat on this Ask Anything About Portugal Wednesday. So Owen in the soup, the classic, culinary classic of Portugal, the Caldo Verde, the cabbage soup with some nice chunks. It's like a lucky dip, isn't it? It's nice to get, if you like your Portuguese sausage, it's lovely to get a bit of chorizo in your Caldo Verde. I don't know how you eat your Caldo Verde. Do you save your meat to the end, or do you dive in and eat the bits of sausage straight away? Who doesn't like to dive in and eat their bit of sausage straight away in the morning? And finally, at 9:30, oh my goodness, it's been an epic struggle getting Luis. You know, if you watched yesterday, you will see that we struggled. Well, we didn't. It was, first of all, a struggle, and ultimately thwarted with one thing and another. Me being away in Italy last week, we didn't have Luis on last week. Then we tried to get him on twice already this week, so hopefully third time lucky, and we'll have Luis on talking about shipping this morning. Is Prosecco Peggy in? I hope so. We were alarmed to hear of your discomfort and pain, Prosecco Peggy. So come pull up a chair, put your leg up, and happy healing to you in this environment here on the Expats Portugal show in the morning. Are you there, Prosecco Peggy? Okay, so gin bars then. Yeah, and passwords as well. There's an interesting Safe Communities Portugal. Their attention to detail when it comes to safety extends to giving you a bit of advice on the passwords today. And I've discovered what the top 10 passwords are in Portugal. Other things for your consideration this morning. This is what I mean about Mrs. M being on the show before me. Everything has slowed down. I don't know what she does. She has a very special effect on me. I think she has that effect on the computers as well. The other thing then for your consideration this morning And some fantastic pictures from Victoria. Thank you, Victoria. I'll wait for Victoria to show up, I think, before sharing with you her pictures from a recent gathering. What did she call it? It was Ferragudo, I think, a party. Let me just see how she describes it. Lovely party at the beach in Ferragudo last Sunday. Fab food, fab friends, and a super fun time. Yeah. And yes, that is a disco ball hanging from the tree. Hope your day is going well, Carl. Well, it's the pictures of Ferragudo have me thinking, yes, that's the lifestyle. It's amazing. I'll show you those in just a moment. But I also like this from Beyond Lisbon's Katia Lima. She posts up she's into her memery as well, and she put this up. And I wanted to ask you about this: ways to contact me ranked. Okay, she prefers text at number 1, email at number 2, and a direct message at number 3. Then at 98, skywriting, 99 smoke signals, and 100 the phone call. And I share this, even though I've worked as a telemarketer in the past. I don't like using the phone. Now, why is that? Are you with me on this, or are you one of those? I think people do divide themselves quite readily into those who just love to pick up the phone and call you, and those who just no, please don't ring me, and those who don't answer the phone, they see who it is and then they think, I should answer it, but I'm not going to. What is that about, and where are you in this? Do you reverse that? Is the phone call your number one method of getting in touch, or do you prefer to be? I remember actually, while I think of it, I remember somebody on the TV when I was a kid, and it stayed in my mind all these years. A gentleman who had outgoing calls only. Now, there was a time when you had incoming calls only to stop people running up phone bills, and you could order that with a telephone company, couldn't you? You could just have incoming calls so that people wouldn't run up the phone bill. Well, this bloke had outgoing calls only, and when he was asked why, he said, because the phone is for my convenience. It is a disturbance, isn't it? Being called out of the blue. It is like someone knocking on the door or coming up to you in the street and standing in front of you when somebody rings, I think. And we've got into the habit of answering it because it was novel, wasn't it, many decades ago? And so we made that concession. But I think a lot of young people now prefer to have the incoming and optional means of communication. But tell me, are you primarily text, email, and direct message? Or do you like a phone call? Are you old school and do you like a phone call? I thought that was interesting. And from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, I haven't quoted Goethe very much, have we? Every day we should hear at least one little song, read one good poem, see one exquisite picture, and if possible, speak a few sensible words. Well, we do try our best here, but I think that's a good editorial production guide for the show here. So poetry, we read a poem, didn't we, last week? Garvo's poem is Ode to Trees. And we like to share exquisite pictures. So I think we're doing pretty good by Goethe's estimations here. And I think that's a pretty good guide for how we might roll here on the show. I was really delighted to see that. And so Goethe, Lao Tzu as well on the show this morning. Isn't it amazing? Let's see what you've been saying this morning so far. T-Duck was in at, when was this? Just before 8 o'clock with a Bom Dia Alegria, Lisboa muito chuvosa. So very rainy Lisbon. The capital is a little bit soggy this morning. Interesting. With a new deep thought of the day then for today. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. And yes, it's going to be Lao Tzu week, he says. I'm much more comfortable with Lao Tzu. But Lao Tzu, I think there is some, not controversy exactly, but a little bit of a fogginess around the identity of that great Chinese philosopher. And your Portuguese saying of the day then now, e uma palavra curta capaz de resolver muitos problemas compridos. No, it's a short word capable of solving many long problems. Well, yes, it is, isn't it? And that's all about the healthy boundaries, I suppose, there, isn't it? Just say no. Okay, yeah, which is quite a popular T-shirt slogan these days, isn't it? Not so much about the drugs anymore. And dad jokes to come then. We'll come back to those. I'd like to save those for a little later on in the show. I've got a most hilarious video. Well, I thought so anyway, which I'll share with you in a moment. A man who likes singing in the supermarket. And I suggest we all do this and let me know. Obviously, video it and let me know how you get on. I'll play that in just a moment. Bon dia, Carl and Gumpers from beautiful blue sky Belfast with Day 10 of mild weather. Should hit the middle teens between 15 and 16 degrees today. Nice one, Deagle. That's a good run for you, isn't it? And bon dia, Thunderduck. Two writers here. but a lurker who has liked the show. We do like a lurker, don't we? Who are you? Show yourself, you lurker. God score tip of the day then. Another warm-up exercise. All right. I will work on those videos and get them available to you. Coach Turner very kindly illustrating, videoing himself doing these. Stand with your feet shoulders width apart. That's fairly easy to understand, isn't it? And arms outstretched either side. Try this at home now. Swing your shoulders around as far as you can. Oh, okay. So it's the horizontal windmill, I think, isn't it? Swing your shoulders around as far as you can, one way, and then the other. And watch out for ornaments and ceramics and so on around you. As you loosen up, you should be able to twist further around. Repeat about 10 times either side. There you go. Excellent stuff. Try it in the queue as well at the bank. People will move out of your way and give you a bit more space with you in your personal bubble. Take no slug then with the boots and pants. Bon dia, gumpers, tout le and his cue this quotes that have inspired the slug. Never doubt. Oh, this is a classic, isn't it, from Margaret Mead? Is this us that are being spoken about here? Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead, 1901 to 1978. Was she an anthropologist and a pedagogist, possibly, Margaret Mead? And a bit like Just Say No, and especially appropriate, pithy quote, I suppose you could say, for these times. What with being told to have nothing and be happy about it. What do you make of the World Economic Forum? Let me know what you think about the WEF, who are gathering ground in our shared consciousness with their plans for us, which is what comes to mind when I see that Margaret Mead quote, I have to say. Moaz, bon dia, Carlos y a todos. Good morning. It's Carlino, actually. Good morning, Moaz, but you can call me Carlos as well. And I think Thunderduck and Deagle left the room because the autofill is not working. Is that true? No, I left the room to go to the cafe. In the rain, had a brolly. What's the wonderful Portuguese word for the brolly? Boa noite, bom dia. São quase 12:30, 12:30. Aqui, over there in Canada. How you doing, Suze? And you're sipping a hot Ovaltine at bedtime. Oh, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Horlicks and Ovaltine, they're good drinks, aren't they? Got to be up early. A woman is coming over from Vancouver Island to view my van. Not again. A Van Gogh too. It is reminiscence of meeting the gal in Sintra who bought Van Gogh. So Van Gogh 1, Van Gogh 2 is on the go again now. You don't let the grass grow, do you? House taxi this morning, Suze. And with this talk of Ovaltine and Horlicks, and do you remember Michael Heron talking about not being able to get a decent full English? Well, where's it gone? I thought I'd got a picture for you of breakfast in a tin. I think I've got that somewhere. Let me see if I can download that. Thanks, Owen, for your a northern Portugal sunset. That's just come in. I got to share that probably when Owen joins me. Here is the blurred pic from the Porter meetup. Okay, so thank you for that. Please use this pic. What's that? Please use this pic. Okay. So we now have a picture with people who are happy to be outed as going to the Porto meetup. Thank you very much for that, Connie. I'll share that this morning as well as your lovely sunsets, Owen. Northern Portugal, another convert, I think. Don't forget, date for your diary tomorrow. We've got the wonderful Vitor Costa joining us tomorrow, and he will be here. Of course, he is our man in the north, converting so many people into a love of Portugal, northern Portugal. So we'll talk to him. If you've got any questions about northern Portugal, he's the man, and he'll be with us tomorrow morning. Andy, hi mate, could you share this event? Some of the gumpers at the meetup were interested in visiting Basaka, and I found these 2 free guided walks this weekend. Perfect. Yes, I'll do that right away. Thank you, Andy, for your continued and diligent work in this regard with the event. So a few more things for me to pop into the picture deck, which I'll do now. And this breakfast in a tin as well that I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for all of these pictures, everybody. 913-590-303 is the place to send them. Where is that? This is an unholy sight. You remember Salisbury steak? Oh, actually, you've got a lovely picture of a GIR. Juggernaut as well. Better download that for when Louise comes on. There's loads. I thought I downloaded everything I needed this morning, but it appears I've not. Has anyone ever had a London grill? I'm about to show you what a London grill looks like, having been inspired by talk of Horlicks and Ovaltine. Here we go, just putting it into the picture deck now. Salisbury steak was something I've laughed about with Frank. Frank is expected on Friday, but you never quite know with Uncle Frank if he's going to join us or not. But look at this. When I do see him, I want to share this with him and Michael Heron. This is the Heinz London Grill, baked beans, pork sausages, bacon, and kidney. Kidney. When did anyone have a kidney in a full English breakfast in London? Any time after about 1930. And it's all in a nice tomato sauce as well. Has anyone eaten that thinking that they should also be wearing a bowler hat and talking in a frightfully posh way using the best family silver? The London Grill, everybody. Yes, baked beans, pork sausages, bacon, and kidney in a tomato sauce. And you know there's going to be top quality ingredients in there. A gin garden to come. And a lovely Ferragudo party also. Bon dia from Andy then. I just clicked on a greeting from Andy and he turned into Pam, who's also here this morning. Victoria's here now, so it's safe to show her lovely pictures. And Owen joining us at around 9 this morning. Hey, Lidar. Who's that then? Hey, Lidar. What does that mean? You sipping on your Ovaltine. Bon dia from the beautiful Bayrada then from Andy. It's Coleta. It is a time for harvesting. I spoke to Chris Price of Courtain Wines and gave him a call. And I'm harvesting grapes, Carl. There he was, actually harvesting grapes when I spoke to him. Chris Price of Courtain, the organic wine grower. Amazing to catch him in the field. It's that time of year, though, as you can see from Andy's emojis here. Buddy, Bon di Algria, hoping you're all having a good day. Thank you, Buddy. Hope you are too. And I missed Mrs. M's show. It's all right. All of these things are available forever on the internet, on Catch Up, on our YouTube channel. Good morning, people from Lee McGrady as well. Sorry, I had to do a quick cough there, but I spared you that with my cough button. Good morning, people from the rainy capital, and Lee, a professional gardener, of course, in the capital, probably just girding his loins for another day in gardens around Lisbon and wondering how he's going to stay out of the rain, probably having a coffee and a smoke before work starts in earnest. What's this? The trick is to take off the gump suit prior to sleep, and that way you'll be less... thank you. More life hacks from Pete as the show unfolds. Morning, how is the lovely Eve? Absolutely. How is she? How's the little one? Your face has frozen. Okay. That's not one of my current symptoms. Is this a password? Macaco123, I wonder. And try and keep the moistness off the equipment. Yes, this is probably quite a good time to call Lee if you do want to speak to me, which you probably don't at the moment. We all know Carl loves a phone call at all hours. Hilarious to receive your drunken phone call in the early hours of Sunday morning, Lee. Not quite in the same mood, I suspect right now at coming up to 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. Bon dia from Pamela as well. How you doing, Pam? How's Alcobaster at the moment? Anything worthy of reporting in Alcobaster? And when's your next meetup happening over that way, Pam? Hola, bon dia, kids. So let's show these wonderful pictures then of the Ferragudo party. Ferragudo, beg your pardon. These are superb. And we'll lead on to the gin bar as well, or the gin garden that's occurring in Chiado, which Thunderdog, you might quite like that. Okay, I think I'm freezing up again. Something's going on here this morning. But look at these fab pictures from Victoria. Thank you for these on 913590303. Superb. Let's begin then. Not with the disco ball. Let's have a look at some of the other pictures. Some beautiful food here. Here, that's not it. That's those man cavers again. Okay, this is it. Look at that beautiful setting. Victoria, Ferragudo, not far from you. How far is Ferragudo from Portimao, Victoria? But there's a lovely place to sit under a tree souk style, and some lovely food. Was look, that steak? I think a lot of people would be thinking that steak's a little bit too well done. Is that how you like it, Victoria? And is that? Oh no, that's water. That looks like a gin bottle to me, but that's some nice cool water. Club now. water there. And also, a bit of a tentacle. Who doesn't like a tentacle for lunch? And a burger with a knife throwing a twist in there as well. I'm really hungry. Look, I haven't had anything to eat yet this morning. A kind of intermittent fasting thing going on here. I only had water, not even a cup of tea this morning. This is making me hungry. Not good. And there's the beach view. Oh, it looks so nice there. And the dining room, the view across the dining room, I suspect, before it got packed. And yes, a disco ball in the tree. So as night falls in Farraguda, I suspect you can have a lovely time at that particular hostelry there. What's it called? I think we need to let people know what that's called, Victoria, so that others can go there. So while we're in that sort of mood, let's have a look at the gin garden as well. Now, I think the last time I was here, this was a cafe. Martin in Chiado, Lisbon. Of course, Martin have broadcast from Martin at their Cascais residences, and very wonderful it was too. And we've also stayed here at Chiado, Lisbon. They're beautiful, beautiful apartments here, serviced apartments. And I noticed this morning when I was looking, you can organise a longer term stay. If you want to come and do your scouting trip and live in luxury while you're doing it, recommend Martin thoroughly. And look, what is that drink there? You folks who know your cocktails, if when it comes back, what is that espresso in a glass looking cocktail? And what's that one over on the left there? Is that an old fashioned? Is it? But this is the bar 1855, the Gin Garden in Lisbon. And I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to wuss out here and read it and translate the page. Discover the fresh, surprisingly light and pleasant cocktails with little or no alcohol that we have created. Oh, I see. To design, it's not forgetting what's the word? Drunk is what I'm going to go with. Discover the fresh, surprisingly light and pleasant cocktails with little or no alcohol that we've created. To design a fantastic cocktail menu, we had Peter O'Connor, a famous consultant and bar and cocktail specialist. I do like the look of this. That's a nice tapas plate there, isn't it? Tabua as well. Bar 1855 Gin Garden is open to hotel guests and the general public with a fresh and green environment inspired by garden music and carefully prepared gin-based cocktails. The bar offers an experience you'll want to repeat. Explore the art of preparing your own gin and tonic in a fun way and lively atmosphere in the heart of Chiado. If you're in Lisbon, even if you're not staying at the hotel, be sure to try the gins and cocktails at Bar 1855 Gin Garden. All are welcome. So there you go. You don't have to be staying there. You can pop in, and there are breakfast baskets as well. Want to enjoy your breakfast in the comfort of your apartment? We deliver a breakfast basket. Bread and homemade jams. Yes, we enjoyed this actually. Fruit, milk, yogurt, jam, and stop it. We also guarantee a meal delivery service from our menu to your room. And there it is from the outside. Beautiful Chiado and the Martin apartments there. So 1855 Gin Garden. You don't have to be staying there to go and enjoy that. That looks like a lovely evening, doesn't it? Victoria, I suspect you might quite like that as an evening in Lisbon. And what is that vehicle? Is that one of those bubble cars? Is that a Volkswagen? I wonder what that is. Somebody will know. I think Andy, Bayrada Andy, might know what that is. Very nice then. Okay, 1855 Gin Garden there in Chiado. Okay, what are you saying? How are you responding? And are you more of a texter than a phoner? I wonder. And okay, what is a direct message, not a text? Okay, it's like a PM, isn't it? It's a Facebook Messenger rather than an SMS. Yeah, I guess a platform-based direct message rather than an SMS text message. Pretty much the same thing, but you're going to be inside a particular environment, aren't you, when you're doing a direct message in Instagram or Facebook rather than just using your Signal, Telegram, or other SMSing service. Direct message every time. Yeah. Okay. So, what is a direct message? What is a DM? A direct message there. Okay. Okay. Some responses then. Yeah, and I see that's what that was related to. Yes, a phone call incoming. You see, I was absolutely at his mercy when he was calling me at 12:30 on Sunday morning. A bon dia then from Pam and a bon dia from Victoria. We've done those, haven't we? I bought a Jamaican jerk seasoning at a Caribbean grocer. I hope Bob, Viv and Owen are getting use of the jerk seasoning I left with them. Put some in my chicken paprikash to jazz it up for dinner tonight. Sounds good, Suze. I believe phone calls come with the possibility of unwanted extended conversation. Hell yeah. So text is ostensibly more direct and to the point. But you do lose, there's swings and roundabouts with all of these things, aren't there? You do lose a bit of nuance, don't you? And you can hear people breathing and coughing when you're on the phone in a way that the calm, cold, digital text messaging doesn't allow for, which might be a good thing, of course. Old school phone call for Suze. You see, yes, that makes sense. The voice says so much more than any text. It does. Quack. What? Are you reminiscing about telegrams? Not like the good old days. Stop. And I prefer WhatsApp messages because so many times I'm not in the mood for a long phone call. Now, this takes us back, doesn't it, to boundaries. And that quote from, who was it? I think it's T-Duck. It was you, wasn't it? And the Portuguese saying of the day. How no, the word no, now, can actually be very good for you and your life. Where's it gone, though? Oh, Portuguese saying of the day. There you go. No, it's a short word capable of solving many long problems. So, why not say, okay, it's been nice talking to you, but I want to go now. I've got better at doing that on the phone. And do people mind that? It's got to be better than just sitting there wishing the phone call would end for an hour or two, isn't it? Carrier pigeon, I think. So many, says Pete, so many ways to keep in touch. I mean, that's part of the problem, isn't it? There are too many ways. And you think, okay, where's that message from so-and-so? And you can't find it because we do have, as Pam says, so many platforms. You can always use those newfangled fax machines and pages. Yes, I've had all of these. Over the years. Fax machines, my goodness, that was clunky, wasn't it? You have to check everywhere. There you go. This was Pam embellishing this scenario of not being able to find out where the message came in from somebody. And always the most important ones get lost like this. And they had a message recently but couldn't remember where. Eventually found it in a direct message in Instagram. Yeah, that's well hidden, isn't it, over there on Instagram? That way you get a meal with your message. Oh, that's very good. Yes, free meal with every carrier pigeon message. My dad's wife keeps in touch by commenting on random Facebook photos. That's great, isn't it? When the oldies just think, oh, okay, so-and-so is going to see this on Facebook if I just write a random comment underneath the photograph. That's very sweet. Also, if someone is busy or tired, he can respond to my messages at his convenience. Now, that's the good thing, isn't it, about DMs and texts, is that you reply when it suits you, rather than being doorstepped virtually. But if I call him on the phone, I'm forcing him to talk to me. Yes, thank you, Moaz, for that. I rarely see my emails. I think Gmail is very good for collating and condensing and prioritizing email. It is a problem, isn't it? I think Mrs. M, when I think I'm logging into my email and I see her, she got 75,000 unread emails or something like that. Oh, we have an incoming call. Isn't that funny? Talking of phone calls this morning, and I think we might have Owen on the phone. How you doing, Owen?
Hi, Carl. Sorry, please excuse the voice.
Well, this is why you're going to start me off now. This is why you're not on the video with us this morning, isn't it? Because you're not feeling the May West. We won't.
Absolutely.
What's going on then, mate?
I don't know. I would say the past few nights I've struggled to catch any sleep. I've just been coughing all night.
Yeah.
But then this morning it's got a bit worse. This morning you can tell I'm getting out of breath very, very easily.
Well, then I don't think we should stress you and put you under any pressure here. So the Caldo Verde is what you were going to do for us. And did you say you might make a video for us when you're feeling a bit better? Because I think this is a classic.
I will definitely do it because I did a lot of research. As some people will know, I'm in the north of Portugal, and it's where the dish originates, as well as the good old Vino Verde as well. So I had a fair bit of information to dish out today.
Hey! Oh, careful! Careful! Don't laugh. Okay. Well, all right. Perhaps we should leave it there.
I'll get a video done for you. Yeah. I will definitely get a video done for you.
You know what? And, all in good time. All in good time, Owen. Seriously, look after yourself. This is a matter of a theme of the morning, I think, saying no when it's necessary. maybe going back to bed and taking it easy.
I am in bed.
Good for you, man. You know, I think it's a bit seasonal as well, isn't it? You know, we're going into, we've had a lot of moisture in the air, haven't we? Which I think could affect people. And we're going into a new season. So you might have a bit of a seasonal thing going on there that you should pamper yourself in relation to that. So all the best, mate. Won't keep you here. And get well soon. And get well soon. Stay well. And we're looking forward to your Caldo Verde video.
Okay, speak to you soon.
Thanks,
bye, everybody.
Thanks, ciao, ciao, mate. Bye for now. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
There you go. You can ring me. Talking of phone calls, 913-590-303. Not just good for sending pics and messages, also good for calling the show. You might want to do that. I don't like it, but I think it's an exciting proposition as well. I've got mixed feelings about it, I suppose. The potential peril of laying myself open to people calling on 913-590-303. Poor old Owen. So he needs a Dr. Bayard or two, doesn't he? If I could stuff that down the WhatsApp line, which I'm sure is a technology that will come at some point, I would, Owen. So some rebosados, lozenges for you, mate, and get well soon, buddy. Okay. We have a Marmite in the house. Nice bottle. Haven't tried a bottle. Jar, surely. We haven't tried it yet, but we'll soon know what all the fuss is about for you Brits. Not all Brits. That's why that's why it's an adjective. A Marmite person or a Marmite thing, or this, that, or the other, because it does divide people. Some love it, some don't. And the same is true of the Worcestershire sauce. I had a lovely, funny little pic here of that, didn't I, that I put up at the end of the show. It was the best of shires. It was the worst of shires. I think that goes in the same bracket as Ovaltine, Horlicks, Marmite, and Worcestershire sauce there. Connie's in as well this morning, who sent a picture in of the meetup. Let's bring that onto the screen. Where are you, Connie? Connie, bon dia, Carl and Gumpers. And let's bring up that picture. Thank you so much for organising the Porto meetup. Is this the one? Yes, there it is. There we have... there's a few folks I recognise there. Lucy, Trevor and Shannon. Jerry there, of course, from Expats Portugal. Jeff, Mystic Jeff, who was a fantastic guest on the webinar, talking about his experience of arriving in Portugal. Lonnie's in there as well, and a few other folks I don't recognise. If you're watching and you recognise yourself, do shout out. And that does look like a fun place to dine. Lovely sunny day in Porto there. Thank you very much for that, Connie. Excellent stuff. Lots of lettuce being consumed in that picture, I would say. And Trevor's got a cheeky look on his face as well, hasn't he? There. So thanks very much for that, Connie. And keep the noise down. Is Hank still asleep at the moment? Sarah's in as well. Sarah Yeoman, how you doing? Joao F, I got your message, Joao. I will get back to you on that. Good morning, people. Says Joao F. Great event happening in Lisbon on Sunday. Guarda-chuva, there you go. Or chapeau for umbrella, brolly. Guarda-chuva. It kind of does what it says, doesn't it? Guards you against the rain there. The guarda-chuva. You might need one of those if you're in the capital today. What's this? Okay, I'm not going to read that out. That might put some people off their breakfast this morning, including their Marmite, Pete. Was a hot day yesterday. Oh, you had your Alcabasa meetup yesterday, but great to see everyone. It's weird at the moment because we're in September. It feels like, the summer's over, but we are getting some really hot and humid days still, aren't we? Quite stormy yesterday, and seeing some amazing pictures of skies in and around the Silver Coast. Not the Silver Coast, this is the north. These are the pictures Owen sent in as well. With not being able to speak so easily, the picture is painting 1,000 words for us here. Sunsets in the north of Portugal. There you go, a couple of them there. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Looks really... Oh, what's that island? That could be the Silver Coast with Berlinga in the distance. What island is that in the north of Portugal? Does everybody know? And Andy wanted me to share this as well. Jornadas Europeias do Património 2022. Visit the forest of Busaco, basically, and visit. It's a free visit, the guided visit, on the 24th of September and the 25th, which, of course, will be this weekend. That looks great. The Busaco forest is amazing. The Busaco Palace also equally incredible. So thank you, Andy, for that. A real native forest I think it struck. Was it 2008 when there was a severe storm in Portugal? And it's testament to the wisdom of planting a traditional or maintaining a traditional forest, not your plantation. Some good old native species in there, and it weathered that storm. There was some damage, but it weathered that storm, and you can see it in all its finery this weekend with a guided tour, famous for its water down the road as well at Luso too. Shame that Luso go-karting event was cancelled. It's health and safety gone, man, I tell you. Okay, so yes, Luis to join us. Whoa, if you like a big lorry, there's GIR's big lorry. We'll talk to Luis about shipping. Any questions you've got about shipping? He might have something to say about Caldo Verde as well. Do you remember last time he was with us? He might have something to say about that as well. He was talking, wasn't he, about the food he used to make as a teenager. He's a bit of an entrepreneur, that fellow, and I think that he used to make food as a teenager. I've got a lovely video to share with you in just a moment of a man who likes singing in the supermarket. It's hilarious. Well, I hope you think so. I'll share that with you in just a moment. Bon dia, James from Connie. I love. Stop it, James. I'm reading out your name now, so with a comment. And good morning to you, Joao. So good morning, James and Joao from Connie. And what have I missed? Sarah Yeoman, we've said hello. And Solar Life Pete. Yeah, I'm intrigued now. I do want to know, can we have pictures of maybe even a video of you eating Marmite for the first time? That should be captured and saved for posterity, I think. So yeah, maybe do a selfie video of you trying Marmite for the first time. I want to see the look on your face. We'll go automobileless in training for my Portugal life, trains, buses, and the kindness of friends. Yes, Suze, absolutely. I'm having my breakfast now at 11:50 Dubai time. Omelettes with feta cheese, plural omelettes there. Is it lots of little mini omelettes, perhaps, with feta cheese and American bacon? Dubai is so British and easy to find British bacon, but American US bacon. What's the difference then? Is American bacon that thin, crispy stuff, and British bacon is a little thicker in the cut? And Antonio F, thanks for this. Faragudo is just across the river from Portimão. Thank you very much for that, for placing Faragudo for us. That looks amazing, that particular venue. Victoria would like to know what it's called. So many comments, so little time. Think of Marmite gently sloping down what would have been a beautiful golden piece of toast. He's not a fan, is he? Always puts me off food, the idea of Marmite. Can't wait, Suze, for you to try it. Carlinhos, hola, bom dia. Nom de plume. And what is that? What's the drink next to the cheese? Oh, that was on our. Yeah, okay. I've lost it now, but I think you were talking about that thing that looked like an espresso in a glass. What is that? What cocktail is that does look like an espresso with a few coffee beans on the top? I think that's what you were talking about there, Moaz. It looks intriguing. It does look like a great evening out there, doesn't it? Club. Oh, okay. So the place that's their own water. So we are looking at Club Knoll. Is that how you pronounce it, Club Knoll? And let me just bring up their branded water so you can see what we're talking about exactly. Okay, so that's the name. That is the venue, Club Knoll. Faragudo directly across the water from Portimão, as Antonio F showed us there. That's the place. Looks like a lot of fun. Hello, boys, says Nom de Plume as well. And I think it's just a lot of people giving each other greetings in the chat this morning. Nothing wrong with that. Can't even walk the dog at 37 degrees, and then there's the burqa, which is keeping you nice and warm as well. 100 degrees for you. Remind us, where are you exactly? Texting versus phoning, James. I never want to have a conversation in text, too cumbersome and too vulnerable for misunderstanding. Yeah, okay, good point. Can you translate that, Victoria? What was that? And I saw an ad once where a perfectly friendly text was being read aloud by the receiver with an angry and sarcastic tone. It was hilarious. Yes, it's so true, isn't it? Things do get lost in the cold harshness of text. It's so true. Yeah, yes, I've got a story about that, a dating story, but I just can't really. Should I tell that or not? Maybe. You can't send pictures on a phone call. That's true. You can paint a picture with words though, can't you? And oh no, sorry to hear Owen is sick. Feel better, Owen. Hugs to you from Connie there, Owen. I miss phoning is sick. Phoning in sick, not so convincing when you work for yourself. Hope you get better soon, Owen. Yeah, you remember phoning in sick? Yeah, hello. Yeah, not feeling very well today. Or get someone else to do it for you. Get your mum to do it. Golly, Owen, please feel better. Says Sarah, and get well, Owen, and take good care of you. Oh, this is lovely. Ash Melior, Owen from Simon as well. And National Exercise Day, even a little is better than none. Is that what it is today? Oh, we missed that, didn't we, Coach Turner? And get well, Owen from Moaz too, and Eagle. Okay, I'm actually an American football player under this burqa. You don't want to see it. The plot thickens. Take care of yourself, Owen, from T-Duck as well. We found Marmite challenging. Please report any successes. And thanks, everyone, from Owen this morning. Okay, I love me some Boots and Pants. Agrees with Joao. Texting takes away the magic of sound. Oh, no, this is Joao saying that to James. And sound also gives you a lot of subliminal information. Yeah, all that sort of heavy breathing that goes on in the background does give you a lot of information, doesn't it? And the snuffling and truffling and... Yes, you can almost... No, I'm not going to say that. Hey, all, did you know today is the International Day of Peace? So is it Exercise Day as well? Deeka was National Exercise Day. And today is the International Day of Peace. You'd hope, wouldn't you, that every day would be the International Day of Peace? But of course, it's not. Let's keep it growing and make every day an everyday practice. Thank you very much for that, James. And get well soon too. Greetings to you, Owen, from Pam. Lots of COVID around at the moment. Yeah, of course, and the seasonal bugs and flus, or is it all the same thing? Texting, phoning, I find and use text for logistics, short, sweet, direct, and usually clear. Okay, so this is an interesting theme then. And if you've just joined and you're wondering what's being spoken of, it is this here, ways to contact me, ranked by Katia Lima, Beyond Lisbon's Katia Lima. She prefers text, email, and DM at 1, 2, and 3. And then last of all at 100, after skywriting and smoke signals, the phone call. Interesting. And I share that with her as well. Although, you know, people do call me up, don't they, Lee? Hi, everyone from OLP. Hey, OLP. Lovely to see you here. And yes, there was a lot of lettuce in that pic. Let me bring the pic up. Is it a restaurant that likes to share a lot of lettuce with their with all of their meals? There was a lot of lettuce in that pic, but it was crunchy and a great salad. Yes, Hank is still asleep, but has to be up early for a meeting. Well, early for him. Lol. So what time's that then? Lots of lettuce in Porto. I must leave early, says Chris B. Bon dia again, everyone. It was an E from Chris, I think, a little bit earlier on. Thanks, everyone, for all the lovely get well soon greetings for Owen. And great to see you here. Great to see you here, OLP. What's this? It was a cruise ship, not an... Oh, wow. A cruise ship out on the seas there. Let me just bring that up again so you can see it. Oh, yes, I see now. A cruise ship out on the seas of northern Portugal. That's the Green Coast right there, I think, isn't it, Owen? That's what they call it, up that way. That looks fantastic. And who likes cruises? Or not, as the case may be. And more of your comments then. I like Worcestershire sauce with my shepherd's pie. Yeah, people do like that, don't they, on the mash? In Canada, it's made with beef, not with lamb. Ah, that's a difference between a shepherd's pie and a cottage pie, I believe. Cottage pie would, of course, be the beef, and shepherd's pie would be the lamb, I think, certainly in UK. Francis is in. How are you doing? He's obviously got electricity today. Power back, and I'm back. Ooh, Marmite. Going to quickly pop to the kitchen. Happy to see. He likes his peanut butter, as we saw in that recent video, and he likes his Marmite as well. Fantastic. It's hot in here, verdad, says James. I attempt to influence others with my example. The best teacher, yes, is your own example, of course. It's hot in here is also her name. I don't need to keep saying that, do I? I suggest we stick to a week of peace for a start, one step at a time. We do want it to work, after all. It's true, isn't it? Peace begins with me, as we know from Jenny B. Oops, I just realized I made an inadvertent dad joke. So missed the dad joke warning. What was I missed that? Oh, I knew. Here we go. Dad joke warning. I knew a big lorry once. She was very sweet. Okay. Yes, a big lorry. There are trucks. There are van jokes as well, of course. As has been made already. Van Gogh. There you go. But there's a lorry joke. Big lorry. Very good. Thank you. Okay, let's carry on with your comments then this morning as we await the arrival of Luis. I had a bloody Caesar. What? After 3 years of no clamato juice, so good. What does that mean? I had a bloody Caesar. Is that like a bloody Mary? After 3 years of no clamato. What is clamato? Is that a celery and tomato together? So good. I don't understand what's going on there. Marmite, I can take it or leave it. So yes, as it should be. No, actually, no, not as it should be. That's rare that somebody is kind of indifferent like that. That goes against all that Marmite stands for, Pam. Luis has joined us, just limbering up behind the scenes. From what I've heard, some people take Marmite elsewhere and then leave it there. Again, not a fan here. Pete asking Francis, how is a beautiful Cape Town? We had Cindy's brother over for the weekend. He said kidnapping has really increased. My goodness, looking to escape here more quickly now. That's Cindy and family. 10 million ransoms for people earning 20K. That's outrageous, isn't it? Terrifying. I still don't understand how a DM is different than a text. Well, it's a platform-based messaging rather than SMS. So a direct message, as well as posting on Facebook, you can send a message in Messenger, and as well as posting on Instagram, you can send a direct message to a recipient in Instagram. So that's the difference. I hope that is clear now for you. And lots of chat. Amazing. Very, very vociferous, aren't we, this morning in the chat? Yes, Pete, there's a lot going on. Not great. Cape Town is still so beautiful. It's such a shame. It really is. And DM Antonio trying to help you out here. T-Duck is DM is a message sent inside a platform. There you go, like Expats Portugal. Yes, you can send direct messages inside Expats Portugal and can only be used among their members. There you go. Whereas if you've got somebody's phone number, you can SMS them and text them. I think that just about nails it. I have one friend, I always DM her and she sends a voice recording back. That's gaining ground, isn't it? Because it's quicker. Sending voice recordings, I think, is a good thing. Because there you go. That is the best of both worlds. I think we've nailed it now. You can hear what people are saying in the tone of their voice, and you can deal with it in your own time. You don't have to be disturbed or doorstepped. I like it. Thank you very much. And some people, Michael Heron does that when we're chatting. He likes to send me a voice recording. I think that's a good thing to do. But I also think people stop short of it because they don't want to be immortalized in quite that way. And you've got time. It's a bit like sending a letter or phoning somebody, isn't it? When you phone them, you've got to be on you've got to be on your toes, as it were, haven't you? And you've got to be ready to say what you need to say in the moment. You can't rub something out or crumple up the piece of paper and throw it in the bin. When you're live and direct on the phone, you have to be more mindful of what you're saying. Whereas if you write, whether it's a letter, text message, or even an old-fashioned telegram, you can recompose. And that, you could say, takes out some of the authenticity. I guess it could add to the exacting nature of those mediums, but it can take out authenticity as well. Hi, Joel. Good, thank you. In Iceland and returning in November from Iceland, if anyone's wondering about Baddy's movements this morning. Sent you a Worcestershire. I think I've already shown that, Francis, but I will. Was it the best of shires, the Worcestershires? And a bloody Caesar has come in as well. Lots of photos coming in this morning as we welcome. He's a little bit early, but I think he's ready to talk to us. I wonder if he drove to work in this vehicle this morning. Is that his company car? I wonder. And let's ask him now. Bring him onto the screen. Louis, is that your company vehicle?
Good morning. Yeah, that's mine, that's what I sleep in and that's what I drive every single day. No, it's not.
It's difficult going to the shopping mall in that, isn't it?
That would be good, huh? Imagine just taking like 4 parking spaces. So, who is this guy? The King of Portugal?
Luis is here, everybody. Well, welcome back. Finally, we made it. I'm sorry you got messed around.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all.
Lovely.
How is everything going?
Pretty good. I actually, on your arrival, you are such a cheerful fellow. We always love talking to you. I've got something that I think will take things to another level of cheerfulness and fun. Have a look at this, Luis, before we get started talking about shipping questions. Anything you want to know about shipping and what GIR, Global International Relocation, can do for you, please Leave your questions in the chat, in the comments, or you could ring 913-590-303. But let's get the party started with this fella who likes singing in the supermarket. So you've arrived in your big juggernaut and you go into the supermarket like this guy.
Bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, te fortuna, non mancherà. La 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 la
Those people's faces, Louis.
Imagine that. But it's like, it looks like it's literally like that, all of us, you know. Every time we put our headphones, we think we sing a lot.
Yes, it's true. What I think I sound like and what I actually sound like.
I would probably sound worse than that guy.
I just love the look on those people's face. What? Oh, look at that. Lol, this guy is great. That's you, Luis, or the guy in the video, I think.
That's so funny.
Lolling. that video is hilarious. I thought you might like it.
Man.
Sammy enjoyed that as well. Very, very good. That vid is.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
my
that's a good one.
Oh gosh, I'm glad we loved him. It's his face. He's so earnest and serious as well, isn't he? And really getting into it, and then he gives it a go himself. Fantastic.
Oh man.
Okay, Luis, what's new? What's new in the world of shipping? What's been going on? Have you had a busy summer?
Well, he's still going. It's like
the festive season, right?
Yeah, we just have enough time to breathe. You know, I was just talking with a colleague. He's just arrived. They will say good morning, and I was like, "So pumped up?" And it's like, "Well, my level of energy, there's normal, there's the high. Mine is here." And I'm like, "Oh, gee, it's tough."
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
And is it seasonal? I mean, are you going to get a rest?
It is.
Going to get a
It
little
is
bit
seasonal. The moving is seasonal. It's true because moving, all this happens when the school breaks happen. You see.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's the majority of the moves happen in between June till September.
Yeah.
Okay. So the majority of the moves happen then, but at Global International, we are not seeing like a low season to say. In the beginning of the company, I do remember that we did have a low season. When I say low season, is like indeed you would have like 1-2 services per day. But now low season for us is instead of having like 15 to 20, it's having like 12, something like that.
Really?
per day. So it's like there's no low season right now for us, and especially because at Global International we are indeed professional movers, but we also have other business in the company. We have fairs and events, we have the relocation, immigration, so we have a bunch of different services. Pets transportation, as we also discussed before. So some of these services are complementary to the low season, you see. So we can keep our teams busy all the time. So it's basically when we have, this is the way we think. If we have already the cost for everything that we have in place, why not, have other type of services that in certain times can produce, when we need. That's basically it. Because then the seasons are on the opposite side. So in the moving, you have the high season from June till September, and then for fairs and events, for instance, it's in between October onward till May. You see, so that's when all the fairs happen.
fairs and events. That is Portuguese companies needing to have their stuff sent out to an expo center somewhere around the world. Is that what
There you
mean?
go. Exactly.
Okay.
Like all the Portuguese companies exposing outside, or any company coming to Portugal to expose in Portugal. You see, so we can help them with that. It's a small division we have, and we are working to increase that one as well. But it's with time, as everything else.
Yes.
we don't focus too much on that one. Not yet.
Well, sometimes you don't need to, do you? Just the business builds and builds over the years, and where you used to have a bicycle with a basket on the front, now you've got these in the car park.
Yep,
It's amazing.
it's true, and we don't have one of those. We actually bought two of that.
Really?
That's two that we have bought. These are recent. We just bought these ones. We have two of them. There's those ones, but we have 5 more. So, and then we have a bunch of vans. We have, the cars, the smaller vans. It's a bunch of vehicles.
We must. What, can't we do the show from that one day?
Sorry.
You
Can
and
we
me
do the show in one of those cars?
Yes,
For sure we
let's
can.
do
Why
it.
not? I'll just
then
pop in the car and do it. Not a problem.
It's got a great big drive up to my place. Bring it over to the Silver Coast, and we'll do it in the bay. And then, has it got one of those great horns on it? Like, we can do
Yeah,
that.
those ones have. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, but right now, like even like in the old days, all the bigger the car, like the nicer the horn, Now it's not like that anymore. Like you have a big car and then you're like, oh no, a horn up. And then and I'm like, oh no,
Yes. What happened
this
with
is
that?
not good.
What happened with that? That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I don't understand, like good cars and then the guy honks it and you're like, oh, what's that?
Yes.
So
What's
it's
wrong
like
with
that
that?
guy. It's like the guy that you just heard, It's
Yes.
pretty much like that. Like
You're
you
right.
pop in with a great car and then you are honking at someone and like and you're like, what's
That's
going
right.
on there?
In your mind, you're driving around in your car like a gangster, and you think when I hit the horn, it's going to go. Actually, like you say, it goes.
It sucks,
Okay.
don't you think?
What happened to horns? Bring the big horns back. Let's have a campaign to bring the manly horn back onto the road.
Manly horn. We need to be aware of that today.
Yeah.
We can't say that.
Steady on there. Okay, I think that will spark a little bit of people running away with their imaginations this morning. Okay. So any legal changes when it comes
No.
to anything to report?
Legal changes, no, just the normal awarenesses. Okay, we need to be aware that coming into Portugal as a move, you must be a resident in Portugal today. Okay, so you need to go through the SEF, get all that done to be able to actually ship the goods, not paying taxes and duties. I had a few clients in between these days asking me about shipping the car, in advance to Portugal because they would be here already, so they wanted to be driving around and stuff like that in their own car. And my advice was not to do it, because it would be cheaper for them to buy a car with the money they would pay in taxes and duties over the car because of not having the documentation in place in Portugal. So it's just like it sucks, but this is actually a nice tip. If you come to Portugal and you still need to wait for a long time, but you are not going to rent a car, the best option is for you to buy a car planning to sell it afterwards, because if you don't do that, and you can even have a deal with a car dealership in that way, I'm buying your car today, but I'm going to sell you this same car in a few months, so the car dealership may do it kind of a rental, because you pay the car up front, but then you are able to sell it to them in a certain value, considering kilometers and all of that, So this is just a tip you could do so you don't get too much money out of your pocket in rentals, because today the rentals of cars are very, very high.
It's incredible. When I first moved to Portugal, and this was 5 years ago, I used to just get a rental car, and for the first 2 years, I think I just drove around in rental cars because it was really good value. But it's just crazy now, isn't it? The cost of rentals.
It's insane, I would say.
I
It's
don't I, I
there's
don't know
many
why that is.
factors to that.
Yeah,
There's many factors to that. Like with COVID, a lot of factories stopped manufacturing, and there's a lack of cars today because there's a lot of people requesting them, and there's a lack of cars. We waited for those trucks. Well, actually, no, we bought those trucks because we couldn't wait for new ones. And we are the same situation. We are holding for a few cars for about 6 months now, you see. So uh, cars that we bought for the company. So this is something that is going on.
I think it's amazing. And you make a good point about how cars hold their value in Portugal. Well, I
Exactly.
think all over the world that seems to be the case at the moment, doesn't it? For the same reasons as why rental cars are so expensive, is that they're at a premium because there's a shortage of
Yeah.
supply.
Yeah, and
What
there's
is
there's and many times people don't think about, like, in our minds we think like this. We think, if I rent, I rent. If I buy,
yes,
I'll buy. So, but no one thinks about buying, selling afterwards, you see. So it's a good point, because you are indeed doing a rental, but you are putting a lot of money up front, but you have the security that you'll get the money back.
yep,
So because you'll just have a devaluation on the car, which is normal because you have used it for a few months, but you can have a rental much cheaper than a rental. That's
yeah.
that's the point I'm making. So
It's incredible. And so the advice then to people is you only bring the car if you're seriously attached to it or it's irreplaceable, right? Because some people are bringing
indeed, no,
classics, aren't
no, you can bring the car. That's not the problem. It's only if you don't have the documents and you are in Portugal for a long period of time without a car. You see, that's the point. Because I have clients that who have bought houses, who have already done a lot of things, but they don't have the residence. So without the residence, we cannot do the move. You see, we cannot be exempt of taxes and duties. Now, you want to bring a big car to Portugal, Porsche, or a big car, like, to Portugal. You will, of course, pay a lot of taxes and duties on that.
you? Yeah.
And so it's pointless to bring a car like that if you are going to pay so much. And there's a lot of clients bringing those cars. Just got a Panamera. We have a 7 Series, BMW. We have so many big cars arriving into Portugal, that it's like, but people send them when they do have the residence, because then they are exempt, and Portugal are the highest taxing country for cars. So that's
Yes,
not.
yes. And that continues, doesn't it? With no sign of stopping. Portugal seem
Now it's,
particularly attached to that.
I guess the government just took it as a normal thing, so everyone is used to it, even in Europe. So, yeah, Portuguese guys go and buy cars in Germany, not a problem.
Yeah,
Then they
yeah,
pay the
indeed.
taxes here.
Yes, incredible, isn't it? Incredible work around that. Okay, the price
Yeah.
of cars apparently has gone up 76%. Even my Tesla is worth more secondhand than when I bought it new. Incredible.
You see
Fertilizer
it.
up 110%. This is what's going on at the moment, isn't it? Food up 23% from the same time last year. There we go.
Even
I'm
me, I've built my house, and I still have some construction to do around the house. And now it's risen so much that I'm like, either I'll do it myself, but then I have to get a new back, or will I, or will I not have to do it just sometime later on, because it's tough. Bad
yeah.
thing I don't build houses, in the company, because I just move them. If I would build them, it would be much easier.
So true, so true. Look at that user mate. Now, Adrian White saying, user mate, if you can, to move within Portugal. I only had to pay petrol. Only, I mean, that's not cheap as well at the moment either. But for 4 trips,
Gold.
including buying €850 of discounted antique furniture on the way, delivered free, and dishes and cutlery. Okay, fair enough, Adrian, if you're inside Portugal. But you're going to have a very good friend who's going to move your stuff from the United States of America to Portugal. We suggest, I mean, that, you really know you've got a good friend if someone's prepared to move you from, yeah, that's
Well, I
fine. We'll do it on Sunday. Yeah, yeah. I'll call, I'll,
I,
I'll be
I
around to
can
your
be your
place.
good friend when
Yes.
moving internationally. It's not a
Yes.
problem.
Okay. So, yeah, find a friend in Luis at GIR then if you're moving from the
Well,
United
but
States, or anywhere else in the world for that matter.
again, Carl, the very important tip on that, and he specifically said within Portugal,
Yes.
is when it's international. Of course, if it's Europe and you have a friend that takes your move from France to Portugal, you can, go with your friend in the little van, have a fun. have a fun trip and a challenge together, but if you are moving abroad, importing into Portugal from outside, from the US, everything outside of the European community, sorry. If you have a move from those places, then you should have a moving company to support you, because all the legal procedures, as you import things into Portugal, need to go through someone that can really help you and give you expertise. Because if you don't, you may find paying taxes and duties, having a lot of surprises because you didn't do the right things before, you
Yeah.
didn't prepare well. So that's just a tip, but everyone works in the way they want.
I tell you what, as well, moving and I've had quite a lot of experience with this. Moving is always worse. I don't know if you find this. Or you probably you have this reported to you from people. It's always worse than you imagine, isn't it? It's always much more work. It's always much more stress than you
Yeah.
ever allow for. I guess maybe that's the difference between optimists and pessimists in life. But I always I think, yeah, no problem. It's just a few things to move, and then every single time, about halfway into it, I realized I thought I'd be finished by now, and still I'm finding things.
If you go just to the simple thing of people that saying, "Oh, I'll just separate things, some things I'll dispose and stuff like that," and then they find themselves spending like 2 weeks doing that job,
Yeah.
just disposing things. I don't want these. Do I want these or no? And
Yes.
people like just the triage. Like what will I take and not take? What can I
Yes.
just throw away? And you
Yes.
spend a lot of time in those, because
You
then you
do.
find yourself going in through a bunch of boxes, a bunch of old stuff, and you are thinking, do I keep this or not? So when you have people moving that are used to move, these guys do not take care of that anymore. They just have the closed boxes for years and years and years, and they just move them
Yes.
around. I'll just take that.
Yes.
It's not a
And
problem.
you
I'll
see
not
this,
go.
don't you? I mean,
I
I think
do.
you said this before. You actually have moved boxes for people that
Oh
weren't
yeah.
in the previous move.
You have houses that you see the house. Where did this house came from? Oh, it came from Belgium. Okay, so why do I have Asian tigers here? Asian tigers is a company from China or anywhere in that side, so the guy comes from the Netherlands or from Belgium, and he came from the previous place was like in Switzerland. So okay, but he has Asian tigers, he has Malta, he has a bunch of like boxes of moving companies that he's never opened those, you see.
Like,
But those boxes are just like for the old moves that he has just like never opened the boxes. So that's that's the thing.
human beings and their stuff. It's incredible. And you mentioned triage there. This is the standard. I don't know, sorting technique. Like throw it
Yeah.
away or give it away and keep it. Is that are those the triage things?
Yeah, that's what I would say. And even it's very important for you, everyone to know that at Global International we have a foundation. We give away items to families in need. Okay, so we have a lot of moves that we do exporting, and a lot of people do those triages. Like they separate things that they don't want anymore.
Yeah.
And in many of those moves, we end up with beds, with cabinets, with fridges, with ovens, stuff like that, that people throw away. They say, well, this will not work in the US, so why will I take it to the US? You see,
Uh-huh.
it's a different voltage. So we keep those. And a lot of people also, when they come to Portugal, now they find that in their house, this doesn't fit. So it's like, oh, I'll just dispose this one. So in many cases, we bring them back, and then we have agreements with some associations, and then we'll give to specific families, because uh, in the old times, we had we were, how do you say, indicated to give to companies like Remar and stuff like that, which are associations that give to people, but we don't want to do that. We want to actually touch people, that we really know. Like, so we have some association that can work with us and advise us on which families do really need, you see. And so
Mhm.
we go to the family specifically and we give to them specifically. So we don't want
Excellent.
to give it to an association and they do whatever what they want with that. We want
Yeah.
to give specifically to the family. So, and we do that a lot. So, and with the much work, we have actually stopped this year a bit, but we have a lot of stuff now to go through, then to take pictures, to give away. and then to be able to give to this person. So
That's
it's
fantastic.
it's one of the social works that we do, and it's very, very important for us because we are helped because of the clients, and then we can help other people with those items. So
That's
that's good.
lovely. That's fantastic. So, Luis, you do the triage. I mean, presumably you
Cool.
don't do you do that for people, do you?
No, we don't do that for people because I
No,
cannot do that. I
no,
cannot,
you can't
I,
decide.
I, I
No.
cannot decide. I do that in my house. That I do. That I do a
Well,
lot.
but you can do that thing, can't you? Someone just gives you the keys and says, "Okay, everything in there, move it to Portugal."
Tell you what, Carl. I had situations that the clients were not in Portugal. I had a video, and I was doing a video conference with a client in the house, and he was telling me this is going, that's going, that's going, and all the rest you can throw away, or it's not going. I even have a client who just left me a video in WhatsApp saying, "This is the way to my house. The key is with my neighbor, and you'll just go and pick up the items here in this room." And I'm like, all right, wonderful, we'll do that. So imagine, that's funny, huh? It's interesting. But yeah, those things sometimes happen, but usually we always have at least a video. We have done a video conference with the client. We have done something in order to know specifically what am I taking from
Yes.
this client, you see? Because imagine arriving there and it's like, oh, this is not what I wanted, and I'm like, oh, sorry, this is what you said you wanted. You see,
Yeah, definitely.
those are the challenges of not being there. So we always
Okay.
prefer for the clients to be there.
All right, excellent. Yes, yeah. Supervising the packing. Okay, we have a few questions coming in and a few comments, as you might imagine, as well. I've
Hmm.
heard so many. I mean, this is the emotional aspect, I think, of moving and stuff. I've heard so many people who have asked, "Why the hell did I move this stuff? I never use it." So happy I unloaded everything that I owned and did not fit in my check-in, carry-on, and backpack. Yeah, that was, I guess, having that immutable discipline helped you
Well,
with that,
there,
James.
there there are different ways to look at moving. I am a firm believer that moves happen for two reasons. One is necessity, or there's an account paying for that, so the client just sends everything he wants. The other thing is emotional attachment,
Yeah.
okay? Because we know that the biggest barrier of moving is indeed the differences that we face in the new country. Okay, so, and I'm not talking about the big differences. I'm talking about the smell. I'm talking about, the what we smell around. It's different from our country to the other country. I'm talking about the places in the house. I'm talking about the furniture in the house, the little cup, the little things that we use every single day that we are used to use them. And now we go to a new place, and it's fun for the first few days, but then we feel that emotional attachment that because it takes a few months, for the person to actually be in the country living it.
Mm.
Before that, there's an emotional challenge, that you are facing it. So I remember that when I went to the US, I spent there 2 years, and that was challenging for me at the beginning,
Mm.
and so it was very difficult, and people would not understand me very well. So I was like, okay,
Oh,
it's
bless you.
tough, and I thought I spoke well.
What was the? This is interesting. Sorry, it's not really to do with shipping, but given that we're expats Portugal and we're helping people move to Portugal, what was the turning point for you as a migrant, as a foreigner in the United States? How did it get better for you?
For me, it was specifically when I like got like I released from the memories, you
Yeah.
see, of like the homesick and stuff like that. It was a different situation, but for me, it was literally when I started to mingle with the people,
Okay.
to actually get to know everyone, to be able to speak better, because I would not understand many people. I was in Utah, and the guys would speak like a bit weird. It was, yeah, it was a bit strange for me. I thought I learned it well, but then I was like, and the first guy spoke with me, and I was like, okay, what did this guy just
What did
said? I was like,
he say?
all right, uh-huh. And I just said, uh-huh, yeah, nice, very good. And he asked me a question. I was like, okay, What he's asking me. So it was tough.
You didn't double down on your upset. You doubled down on getting yourself out there. You kind of challenged yourself and pushed yourself to
Exactly.
do
That
something. Is that
was
what
that
you
was
did?
basically it. Like the
Right.
big thing for me was getting out. My purpose there was helping people. So that's what I spent the majority of my time doing, So, but I really did it, I went there and I was like, who can I help? How can I help? Let me just go and meet people and help whatever I can.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
every time it snowed, for instance, I would get out with the shovel and I would just like shovel the parking lots or just shovel like the entrances of the cars, the driveways you see of the
Yeah.
people, so they could get out the cars and stuff like that. And I was like old people out in the autumn, I would just like go and take all the leaves in their gardens and stuff like that. So I was just like trying to get with the kids. Kids are very important, like talk with kids because the kids speak everything they want, and they talk with you. So I would speak with a lot of kids by then, so it
They're
was
much more
it was good.
forgiving, aren't they? Yeah, they're interested in forgiving, aren't they? That's
Yeah.
brilliant. That's very transferable. So get out there, mingle, and well,
And don't be afraid, just talk.
there you go.
You
Don't
don't
be
you
afraid.
don't know
Don't
how
be
to
embarrassed.
speak well, but it doesn't matter
Yeah,
because you just mingle with everyone.
that's
And I
brilliant.
didn't know, but then a few months later, well, a year and something later, people were asking me, not today, but then, they were asking me, so from which state are you from? And I was like, no, I'm actually Portuguese and I'm from Portugal. But my accent was so good then that, the American accent, that I was like, they were asking me like, which state are you from? And I was like, well, I'm from the, I would tease them first.
State.
Then I would say I'm from Portugal.
Fantastic. There you go. Some great advice from you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
With the discipline of the backpack and what he was able to bring with him physically, James goes on to say, "I know this doesn't work for many, but incredibly liberating for me." Well, it's one way of doing it. Joao, if getting rid of old stuff can sometimes be painful. I remember when I emptied my late mother's house, I came across a lot of things which had been part of my childhood. That is
Yeah.
difficult, isn't it? And
I'm just doing a
contains
move to
some memories.
Canada of childhood memories,
Are
basically,
you?
Yeah, and we do some of those. Some people passes away and we do some inheritances. And those
Oh,
are
I see.
memories, those are memories.
Oh, so that might be a Portuguese person who lives abroad and their family home has been sold and wound up, and it's just the possessions that you're shipping.
Yeah, exactly. And some
Wow.
people imagine we have a lot of immigrants, right, from Portugal, in
Yeah.
Canada, in
Yeah,
France,
of course.
and these persons later on in their years they come back to Portugal,
Yeah.
and usually they will die in Portugal. So then the kids who never spoke Portuguese and they have their Portuguese name, João Meireles, but he doesn't speak Portuguese at all, and they're like, oh, this is João Meireles, let me talk with him in Portuguese. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. Falo muito pouco. That's how they say it.
That's what I say as well. And that's what I say too.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're
yeah,
not alone with that. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. A day in the life of Luis Duarte at GIR then. A question for you about larger vehicles. Do you ship pickup trucks? What is
yeah.
the biggest vehicle you've brought over, incidentally?
It was like Unimog, for Mercedes.
Oh, what is that? Like a truck? People carrier?
Old, those Mercedes truck that goes all over everything. Like they
Oh, I
can
see.
go, they are four-wheel and they actually go over every single. It's like a military truck, you see.
Okay, so
They
you brought.
go over every single thing. You don't put if you put the car, it goes over the car. He goes over every single thing. Yeah, we took those and Hummers as well. So those are the bigger vehicles, never trucks like big trucks.
But a
The
pickup?
one you just showed me, my truck.
Yes.
We never shipped
Yeah.
those.
Okay, so yeah, that's what does the shipping. That is not what it gets shipped.
Yeah,
But
but
so if a copy and paste here, pickup trucks. I mean, that's a like the Bedford that you see all over Portugal. You can buy them here. They're classics, and I think there are some Japanese brands as well like that. But a pickup truck shouldn't be too much of a problem, should it?
no, like if you are talking about those big F 350 or something like that from how do you say from the US,
Yeah,
because they have these big trucks with two wheels in the back and stuff like that. Those are normal because they all fit in containers, in 20-foot or 40-foot containers. But
So
if there's any challenge, shipping big stuff, then you can ship them as roll, so roll in, roll off, or you
okay.
can ship them in an open top container, you see, or just a flat rack, which is just like a base, and you put the truck there, you fix it, and it's just shipped like that in the vessel.
Copy and paste, not a problem. I'm a home renovator and I find them much more useful than vans. Okay, well, we expect to see you driving around Portugal in one of those soon then. Fantastic. Okay, we had another question. It wasn't so much about shipping again, but somebody wanted to know what headset you use, I think. I can't see where it is now, but I think it was Nom de Plume who was asking. Yeah, what headset
That
are you?
is funny.
It's incredibly clear. Was there? So what brand of headset are you using?
This is Jabra. It's
Jabra.
actually very good because isolates the sound and you
Yeah.
speak quite well. Yeah, it's good. Because
Okay.
I don't have, the big setting like you do, like radio setting. I would like to
Yeah.
have that, but I don't.
But it
So
might look a bit weird, mightn't it, in your office to have a radio studio inside your
that would be
office?
nice. No,
Yeah.
actually, tell you what, I have been thinking about doing a podcast for a very long time. So
A
I'm
shipping
I would
podcast.
like to, yeah, I'd like to do that.
Incredible. Well, that I think your podcast would be very moving. Get it? Okay. So you're getting more you're getting more and more eccentric. You've got that parked outside, and you're creating a radio studio in your office. People are going to be
Let's
talking.
see.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
see in
see
the
how.
future.
I know.
While the pandemic hit, I had like a radio studio in my house, so that was good. It was like my
Yeah.
beginning to study it.
I think a shipping podcast has got legs, as it were. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think there's a few people here who would subscribe. You've got subscribers already, Luis. I think there'll be
There
people
you
who are
go.
very happy with you about that. Utah is definitely a higher level. Why is that? Why? What's so difficult about Utah American?
Well, they say howdy, how are you going? Stuff like that, they speak like this. How are you doing? Stuff. They speak in a different way. It's like
Yeah,
they are it's not literally like the rednecks, from the US, but it's like the words. It's like the Alentejo in Portugal. That's how Utahns speak there.
it's the
A
equivalent.
few
Okay,
of them, okay, in a
yes,
few places, not everywhere. But I was in the very, very interesting areas with
yeah.
very little people. So yeah, with a lot of farms and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting.
It sounds amazing. Okay. James is saying, I think the biggest challenge in unloading our stuff is often, if not always, emotional. Yeah, and I guess there's nothing
Yeah.
to it but to go through it with that sort of stuff. And nom de plume. This week, I just came across a picture of my mum pregnant in 1949. The only one.
Wow.
This is the sort of stuff, isn't it, that we're talking about here?
Yeah.
Sue's left Portugal with 3 suitcases and a dog. Plan to return with the same. I'm so glad that you're planning a return. And why Joao F is asking, copy and paste, why do you think you need a large pickup truck in Portugal? Oh, okay, because you're a home renovator and you find it easier than a van. Adrian,
Well, I found some Dodge Rams on the other day just driving by. So probably those guys work in a farm or something like that.
Dodge. Amongst many jobs I've done, Dustman Ligero for Kensington and Chelsea. Look at you. This teaches you to keep a lookout for non-rubbish thrown out. Student areas and other areas are high turnover. Oh, for us skip divers. Well said, Adrian. I think here on the Silver Coast, where people need to get rid of stuff quickly, I find some fantastic stuff, I've got to say. And of course, in Portugal, there's a great tradition, isn't there, Luis, of people don't put it in the dumpster. If they think you can use it, they leave it next to the dumpster, don't they? There's a lovely kind of ecosystem in Portugal.
Yeah, actually, I have a few friends in Setúbal, and they work as a garbage collector. Like they are in the trucks, they put the garbage in and stuff.
Yes.
And they tell me that I wouldn't believe the amazing things that people throw away. So it's
absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy.
People get desperate, don't they? Andy
Yeah.
says we used to take the 2 outer rear wheels off dually pickups to fit in containers when I imported them to the. You see, I knew Andy would know something about this sort of thing. I look at this, and she wants to know what model you're using. Oh, come on, nom de plume. we can't tell you that.
Now we're going too far because I have no idea.
Then he won't be able to speak to us if he starts looking at his headset. Then I advise you to buy one. in Portugal, okay, the same advice you were giving before, Luis. Don't bring over a pickup truck. Import taxes do not pay off here. Besides, car specifications in the US are different from those in Portugal and generally in Europe. So you will most likely have to go through tons of adjustments in your American vehicle to make it legal here. That's the matriculation side. So not such a big deal moving it here, but making it roadworthy here is a whole other level of stuff. There, Joao, thank you for that and your advice to copy and paste. Well, we better let you go and do more of this immense work that we started off talking about this morning, Luis. Busy times at GIR. Is there anything you want to say to us before you go? Do you like Caldo Verde? I was one of the questions I was going to ask.
I do. Yes, I do. And my son much more than I do. That's the only food my son sits and eats without like getting up, going there, coming back, eating a little bit more, going back, coming back, going up the stairs, coming down the stairs.
Yes.
Oh, gee, petting the cat, going back. Gee, that's my son. That's my son. I don't know who he took this from. I don't know.
He's obviously a true Portuguese. He loves his classic soup.
But he loves Caldo Verde. Every time we have Caldo Verde, Vicente is the guy that eats it like straight away. Bam, 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 bam. So it's good.
Oh, you know what? I've just seen you've sent me the model of your nom de plume. The level of service being offered here this morning is amazing. It's the Jabra Evolve 265. Luis, you have done us proud this morning. Thank you so much. A wide-ranging conversation.
I don't want to leave you hanging,
Oh, bless you.
Hanging there.
So lovely to talk to you this morning. All the best, and all the best to the team over there at GI, and we'll see you again next month, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Talk to you guys soon. Hey, take care. Bye bye.
Ciao. There he goes. Luis Duarte, our friend over there, and his new vehicle. I'd love it if we could do the show from that one of these days. We could do that, couldn't we? T-Duck, what do you reckon? Okay, a few more pictures, I think, to share before we leave you today. And we've got to play that video again, haven't we? I think it's only right for us to play that video this morning. And we've got clamatos, all sorts, clams, and pictures of taxi. The 3 suitcases and a dog, which could be a Richard Curtis movie. Oh, there's Van Gogh too. That's random, isn't it? I like the look of that van, Suze. Very nice. And there's Taxi's new haircut. We haven't had many pooch and pussy pics recently. There's Taxi with a nice, lovely new haircut there. And you tell us, we were talking about gin earlier on. This, what were you saying, is a bloody Caesar. And you don't tell us any more than that it is a bloody Caesar. And what that is, clam and tomato. So it's got a kind of a marine, an aquatic, a salty vibe going on there with the clam and tomato. And there is your big cruise liner out at sea there, a close-up from that picture that Owen sent us earlier on. Okay, let's finish, shall we, this morning? Let's see what other comments are coming in. And we've got to play that video again for you, haven't we? And I think I missed a few comments in the middle there. We've got a few dad jokes to do as well. So I'll do the dad jokes and then we'll play that video one more time. Wow, didn't realize that. Great info. Thanks, Joao. Yeah, that could save you a whole lot of heartache. Copy and paste. Nice to make your acquaintance, by the way. Thanks for being here this morning. Thank you, Expats Portugal. I interpret over the phone and sound is my only tool. What does that mean? You sound like a performance artist. I interpret over the phone. And sound is my only tool. Sounds very artistic, that. And Adrian says, if you sublet a room or two to people on low incomes, you can get your utility bills massively discounted. You can also, a lot of tips from Adrian this morning as well. You can also then get included in free plus full Cruz Vermelha and Diocesan Caritas food supplies. Wow, Adrian, you've got it going on there with your life hacks. I think. Thank you, everybody, for those. Let's. And the Unimog. You like the Mercedes Unimog, then your ultimate motorhome. So rest assured, GIR can bring that over for you. And woken by a huge storm this morning at 5 a.m. So it is proper rainy in Lisboa. It's hot here. Nom de Plume says, I'm looking for a headset to use during my Zoom lessons with my Portuguese lesson. Okay. So do you recommend? Well, I think so. And that's what Luis was using this morning. You're very welcome. Consumer tips on a Wednesday as well as a Tuesday. Let's go to those dad jokes for you that Tea Duck has so carefully prepared and served up for us this morning. The collective noun being an incredulity of dad jokes, as I scroll back to the incredible pile of comments this morning. A recent study then with dad jokes has found that women who carry a little extra weight live longer than the men who mention it. When I first got a universal remote control, I thought to myself, this changes everything. And finally, then, on the dad jokes, before we go to that fantastically funny video, what do you call a cruise liner? Very good. Full of psychologists. A Freudian ship. Very good. Okay, thanks for being here this morning. It's 10 o'clock and time to go, but not until we share this one more time. Prepare to cry with laughter. Who is this guy? Can we find out? Can we even get him on the show? Ciao, bye for now. See you tomorrow with Vito Costa. Oh, man.
Bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, te fortuna, non mancherà. La 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 la.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.